Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. This is your Washington Commanders update, and I'm your host, Candi CWall Waller, checking in as I do each and all throughout the season. I would like to say each and every single day because it feels like right now, since it's training camp season, I am outside each and every single day. But at any rate, all throughout the NFL season to give you the latest and greatest information on the Washington Commanders. You all, day 4 of training camp has wrapped up, and I'm sure you all already know, right? All of the major happenings of the day. Fans were there as early as 5:30, maybe even earlier. It was, lit. Fans, you all showed up and showed out. It was really, really awesome. We also know that as soon as head coach Dan Quinn was preparing to come out for his morning presser, the news broke that Terry McLaurin, wide receiver Terry McLaurin, did report to camp. He is active, but on the physically unable to perform list, also known as the PUP. Dan Quinn shared that he is dealing with an ankle injury, an ankle situation. He did not have all the details. The PUP is a recovery pathway, very similar to what Sam Cosby is doing right now. He needs to know, he didn't have all of the details. He would get the details when he had an opportunity. Yes, Terry McLaurin did show up outside to sign autographs at the end of practice. Once practice was all over, he did come out and spent the better of 20 or so minutes signing autographs. So this story is still developing, as it has been for quite some time now. We'll all have to just keep on watching and seeing what happens. With that being said, of course, at the time of this recording, there is still not a contract extension done yet. So let's see. Yes, you may have already seen from some of my media colleagues the pictures and posts. Terry's agent, Buddy Baker, was also present today at camp. So let's all just see what happens. With that being said, let's get into some football practice. There was definitely some notable moments. You all have probably seen them on the Washington Commanders page. Some great catches, a very hype teammate quarterback, Jaden Daniels, cheering his teammates on. It was a super duper hot day. But let's get into some of the questions that I had for Coach Quinn. I know I jumped right on into all of the news, but hello. I hope you all are subscribed to Bowie TV's YouTube channel. If you are watching and joining us from Comcast channels 190 or 1097, hello to you all as well. Let's go ahead and get into some of these clips. During the training camp series, I will be sharing clips from press conferences or some of the one-on-one interviews that I've been doing so that you all can kind of see where I'm headed or where my thought process is and what I'm truly watching and taking a look at as camp continues. So I'm looking here, as I always am doing, right, to kind of see what some of the topics that I've been asking about, where am I using my clues to see what's going on? And a lot of great content is on the channel. Make sure you're watching the videos. Make sure you're watching the shorts. Hopefully you feel like you are there with us at camp. But let's get on into some of the press conference questions that I've been asking. Let's check on this one first. Hey, good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
So what does the next step look like for Ben Sinnott and Javonte Jean-Baptiste?
Yeah. It started in the offseason. Both of them gained some strength and some size. They've added confidence in their game because now more reps, more techniques to do that. And now we just need to get them in and playing. But both of them have really, kind of jumped out to us this offseason to say, okay, this is your time. You've, put the work in. Now you get to go do that. And so finding ways for them to express that in practice here against other teams, preseason games, that's the next step.
So I mentioned this on a previous episode in the training camp series, training camp 2025 series. So I'm continuing to take a look at this. So put a pin in that, stick a pin into me asking about Ben Sinnott and Javonte Jean-Baptiste. When I move on now to a clip of my question to Deron Payne. Hey, Deron, so at this point in training camp, what are you most working on for your craft and your role on the defensive line?
I'm just competing. I'm coming out competing and trying to get myself into the position I want to be on game day, and just trying to make our O-line better and just let them make me better.
So this defensive line is different. I mean, every position group, for the most part, right, is different. It's got somebody different, other than, interestingly enough, the quarterbacks, right? There's only one change with the quarterbacks, and that's from Jeff Driscoll last year to Josh Johnson this year. But the defensive line looks very different. Okay, so I know there were some questions also to Deron about Jonathan Allen not being here, but at the same token, I mean, he has some bodies around him. And while he answered my question talking about making himself better, making the offensive line better, this group has definitely, the defensive line, it's an opportunity for everybody to get better themselves, of course, right? So when I ask about Javonte, who was one of the team's last year draft picks, I definitely want to see the next step or what that looks like for him with so much experience now at the position of defensive end as well as the defensive line overall. So I'm certainly, as I shared with you all in a previous episode, always looking at the line of scrimmage, right? Both sides of the line. But this will be interesting to see as camp goes on for Deron Payne and how he gels with the rest of his new teammates on the defensive line, as well as Javonte Jean-Baptiste. I have not forgotten about Johnny Newton, you all. I've not forgotten about Johnny Newton. Let's see how he comes up and brings in that next level of intensity and energy and skill set as well as training camp goes on. Now, back to Ben Sinnott. I talked a bit in a previous training camp series episode. If you haven't already, definitely check those out. I have an episode on day 1, and then I have an episode on days 2 and 3. And so this one is on day 4. I asked Coach about the tight end group because, and you'll hear Coach mention this in his response to my question about the tight ends, this is a pretty deep group. And this is a group that not many are talking about, but I asked Coach about that. Hey, good morning, Coach. Good morning. What have you seen so far in the tight end group?
It's a deep group. This, I would say, is one of the fiercest battles we'll see. Because there's a lot of unique things, from split out wide pass catchers to inline blocking, but it's definitely coming in one of the stronger groups. So you're on the right, topic for sure. Every once in a while, there's a group that's like, man, every single one, you want to see more. And then the next player, you see some things. I saw a great catch from Tyree the other day, that was on an out route. So I felt all of the 6-7. I saw a good block, there's just different matchups that I've seen. So I'm excited to see that play out, in the month ahead.
So use your clues, everyone. You've heard me say this before. Get your notebook out, get a pen, use your clues. Tight end is a group to watch. I appreciated Coach Quinn saying I was on the right path of noting that, because I have felt the intensity. I have seen that group elevate. I've seen the deepness in that group. So that is definitely one on my list of what to be paying attention to. I also asked Coach about the cornerbacks. Another group I want to ask about is the cornerbacks. What have you seen in that group so far as well?
Right. We love to see, progress already from Trey. It's only, 3 practices. Today's number 4, but John Jones, being a factor into that. So adding different guys, Noah inside, outside. We really love the competition. What I've been impressed by, the inside players, their ability to communicate. They have to set it. a call happens and things have to happen quickly. So we're making progress, and we've got some excellent guys to go against to help get them ready.
Going to keep our eyes peeled to the cornerbacks, everybody. It's something in each position group, of course, that I'm paying attention to. But as each day goes on, I'm really like, okay, what's bubbling to the top? Who's bubbling to the top? If I go back and look at my notes, where do I have the most notes in my notebook from what I'm seeing in real time, or as I'm taking the drive back from Ashburn? What am I really kind of just like reflecting on? Like, you know what I saw, or you know what I'm thinking about, or you know what? And that's what helps me kind of guide my questions and what, and really to confirm if I'm actually seeing what I think I'm seeing. So good to know that my eyes are still in check and I'm paying attention even in the heat. We did get an opportunity to talk to Brian Robinson Jr. in one of the press conferences as well. So let me share my question to him with you all. Hey, Brian. So what can you share so far, what you've seen in the offensive line?
I see them working. They collectively as a group, coming together and, getting to know each other better with some new guys and new faces in the room, and, just getting familiar with each other, getting familiar with working with each other. And I feel like they've been doing a great job of just, paying attention to the details and, just wanting to make sure that group is one of our best, groups on the team. And, I can feel it in their energy, and I expect them to just continue to build onto that.
I see the same thing that Brian Robinson Jr. noted as well. I'm definitely seeing this group. This is a group that is together a lot, right? This was one of the kind of the recurring themes from last season as well, but that is continuing even with the new guys as well. They're together a lot, and it's kind of cool. Before practice gets started, they all give each other a hug. They give the quarterbacks a hug. They're ready to roll, and they're wishing for good success and great, safe practices as well. I asked Brian about that because, he's a running back. So, hey, the offensive line is critical in a successful run game. So I wanted to ask him what he had been seeing from that group so far. Plenty of other people were asking about the overall running back position group, because trust me, the running backs are definitely on my list. They're not leaving from my list. They're on my list. But I wanted to get his perspective on the running back, or not the running backs, the offensive line. Again, I'm paying a lot of attention to what's happening in those trenches right at the line of scrimmage. So much is won and lost at the line of scrimmage, as you all know. So wanted to keep my eyes peeled and get B-Rob's perspective on that to ensure that what I'm seeing is accurate. So far, so good on that one as well. And I know I'm kind of zipping through some of these updates because I know you all just want to get right to it, because day 5, it's coming soon, and pads, the team will be in pads here soon. So you definitely want to make sure you are locked into Bowie TV to get my updates on all that I've seen from that perspective as well. Seems like when I check in, yes, we know that the Terry McLaurin contract extension saga is still going on. But you know what? There's still some great news coming out of Ashburn. Santana Moss on week 1 will be inducted into the teams. We call it the Ring of Honor, the Ring of Fame, whichever one. His name is going up in the stadium. He was so emotional. He was so happy. It was just all the great, wonderful feels and just happiness and joy for him. And it was just an amazing moment for just a super amazing human and most deserving as well. I did ask him what he's seen so far in this ownership group. This ownership group has done so much since they've been here. So I want to get his take on that. Hey, Santana, congratulations to you. In a few, short years, this ownership group has done a lot around here and to honor the legends. So can you just share your thoughts on the ownership group and all that they're doing around here?
Well, before they honored me with this, they've been doing a great job. I think from day one, just the things they do in the stadium for the fans to make things easier when it comes to the concessions. Just the whole, if you look at I guess you can say, I'm there a lot because we do a lot of those meet and greets, and I've watched them transform those suites and the area to make it better for people experience. It's about the experience. These people paying this money to come out here and enjoy the game, but they want to tailgate. They want to leave with an experience. And I think the owners has been doing a great job just giving them that experience alone. But then when you talk about them putting more money into the facility here, you talk about them making sure any and everything that hasn't been done. They didn't just buy the team and say, okay, we done, then let's go out there and win. No, they did it from just making the players comfortable, making the fans comfortable, making the experience better, and then getting the right kind of coaches here, That's first and foremost to me. You got to have the right kind of leader in here to lead these men. People think that a lot of times you can get any coach and say, all right, go out there and be a good football team. It's not that easy. And I played with a lot of them. So I think I look at it from that standpoint. But then now also when you look at Art Monk getting his jersey retired and then them honoring me in this way, man, it's just I can't speak enough about how great of a job they've been doing thus far.
So you all, that's really my update on day 4 and the days leading up so far. It's still early, right? It's day 4 and training camp is it's a thing, but once they get into the pads, we get into more of the one-on-ones with the pads. That's going to be something that you're going to say, oh, yeah. Let's see what's happening here. Let's see what's really going on. Of course, the excitement, if you want to go back to some of the things that I shared with you all, did the offense do better than they did on day 3? Absolutely. They did. Yes, Mikey Sarah still got a pick off of his buddy, Jaden Daniels. But hey, corrective action, play to play, series to series. You're seeing those updates and those kind of improvements being made in real time. So that's what you want to see. You want to see if the mistakes are made. You want to see how they progress. You want to see how they make up for it. And that is what is happening. So still on track, still on pace, nothing to be concerned about. When it comes to the team, I know we all know that Terry McLaurin contract extension is a top priority and is a top hot topic across the league. And of course, here amongst the Washington Commanders media and fan base as well. So we're definitely keeping track of all of those things, but we also got to keep track and make sure that we're giving you the information and what's needed about practice. Okay, and so that you are equipped and understand and know what's happening in practice. So much more to come. I look at this week as kind of the road leading up to joint practice in New England. So let's see what happens. Padded practices are soon coming. Big shout out again to the fans that showed up and showed out. They're super duper early. They're to support the team. The energy is real. The momentum is real. It's all good things and much more to come. So thank you all for watching on Bowie TV. Again, make sure you're sharing this channel. All the information of where you can find us on TV, on Comcast channels 190 and 1097 to all of your Washington Commanders loving family and friends. You all know the drill with me. I'll be talking to you all again soon.